the solutions that you are asking the government to provide for you now, salary increase and other things, they will not solve the problem. So if you want to solve the problem, now that you have removed the subsidy by yourself, we can now think of other macroeconomic adjustments we need to make.
Take us through those adjustments.
Yes. Number one, the implication of this is that, one, government cannot afford to raise minimum wage again. Because if they do, you might be happy and say, oh, government is helping me to cope with the effect of it. One, the government doesn't have enough money to pay minimum wage in the entire economy. Government can borrow money to pay minimum wage for its own workers. The government workers are about 1% of the population. Because we are 200 million. And I don't think civil servants are up to 2 million. So all this issue of salary increase, you are talking about 1% of the population. Maybe some of their family members will benefit from it. But in an economy in which we agree that at least 1/3 is unemployed, I don't see anything in minimum wage that affects an unemployed person. Because an unemployed person is on zero income. So it doesn't affect. Second, majority of workers are not government workers. So because majority of government workers are not government workers, you cannot force a private person like me, like other private persons, like Nigeria Info, to increase salaries. So they are going to increase the advert rate. They are going to, because that's the only thing they can do. That's the only source of income. So if you now want to advertise on Nigeria Info, what you used to pay 20,000 for, you ask you to go and pay 100,000 because they want to pay salary of their workers, they want to pay for this petrol and all of that. So it's not a solution. The solution will be, therefore, that the entire mandate of the government has to change. So one, you have to change the mandate to finding ways to reduce cost. And the only way to reduce cost for petrol is to reduce the consumption of petrol. So that an average person in Nigeria will behave like an average person in London. The average person in London driving a car or hailing an Uber is the last chance, is the last choice.
True.
They will think of first, if you go online and go and check any video, YouTube video of London, you will see 5 things will appear to you in London. You will see red buses. You will see black taxis. You will see bicycles. You will see baby strollers. You will see people walking on their feet. That is the implication of the cost of petrol in England. And also, they have additional problem of parking, but mainly petrol. So if you want to deal with...
And the train is also very, very effective.
The train is there. So if you want to deal with that, that's exactly what you have to look like. You have to look like a community that adjusts your roads in such a way that the pedestrian side is wide enough. If you look at London, the pedestrian side of the road is wide.
Yes, it is.
So they know the majority will be on that side. In some streets, the pedestrian is bigger than the motorway. Second, you will see a lot of bicycles. So if you are part of those who laughing at the Joma Dueke when they were using bicycle, no, you have to use bicycle and raincoat. Then the cities, local government, state government, maybe if federal government wants to assist them, they will have to introduce gas-powered and solar-powered buses. Well air-conditioned for gas-powered buses. Hopefully they can find the gas. CNG, compressed gas, and all of that. If you do that, and every civil servant who wants to come to work has an ID card will also serve as a bus pass. But why I'm not recommending all of these things is that they are not in the manifesto of APC or PDP or Labour. There are things that are in the manifesto of PDP or SDP. We're not in government, and I can't be campaigning. But I can mention that there are solutions. But the government you have elected now has already fixed its mind on certain solutions. And those solutions have been included in the 2023 budget. And they are fixed inside it. And they are going to implement that, and they will not address the
Do you think the national social safety nets, giving people 5K every month, some families, let's say 30 million, or even let's even go as high as 50 million, will cushion the effect of this subsidy, as we know the APC to have done in the past in cushioning the effect of
It will cushion the guilty conscience of the government, but it will not cushion the effect, because if you give somebody 5,000 naira a month, and that 5,000 naira cannot take them from their house to where they are going to buy a wagon and bread and back, and they finish that, and they keep looking out of the window for the rest of the month, what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. The only thing you can do that can happen is, because I'm now thinking in terms of what the APC government wants to do. If the promised expansion of the economy, for example, they want to grow the economy by 6% in their GDP, according to them. If they are able to do that, then it means that 10% more of the unemployed, 10% more become employed. And the expanded GDP will also lead to some productivity. So if the productivity is in the area of food, food prices might come down.
Okay.
Or stabilize at least.
Okay.
Because if there's agricultural productivity, which can easily be done, the price of food can come down. If there is productivity in the area of, say, for example, medical care, a bit more hospitals and all of that, then it shows to you that maybe people will have more doctors, more nurses, more hospital beds. So people who are sick, who pay so much now, they have a reduction in it.
One less thing to worry about.
Yes. If there is increase in the school enrollment and the public schools are improved upon, it's possible that the money you used to pay for lesson teacher, you used to pay for private school, you may put your child in the public school next to you now, which you don't like, but if it becomes better, you can put your child there. That will save you some money. It is also possible that if they spend money on infrastructure, like better roads, areas, rural areas, other places where you can't bring food out from now, or somebody who goes to Jigawa, Adamawa, all those places to buy food stuff, and is spending so much to bring it down, taking a long time. If the roads are better and they are improved, they may come further down. If there is a general increase in the foreign exchange of the country, and we start to export some of the things we produce, for example, if Dangote is exporting the net production of its refinery to other countries, and he decides to repatriate the money, because if he decides to keep the money in New York, it won't help us. But if the government talks to him and he says it's good, and bring the dollar back to the central bank here, and we have sufficient dollar, and more people also export, the exchange rate may come down. And if the exchange rate comes down, the dollar component of our consumption in terms of petrol and other things will also come down. But you can see that all my statements start with if.
Right.
Because one, the government may not do it. It's not my government. I can only recommend to them. Two, they may do it in a manner in which it will not work.